Okay. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Career Lab Wednesday. Welcome to 2025. It's already over a week in. I am just returning to this weekly event that I do here and want to welcome everybody in who is viewing in. Want to share with you there's a few ways that you can join. You can always jump in directly on the Zoom link and I can work with you one-to-one that way. If you are just viewing in and not able to join on Zoom, you can type your questions into the comment section and I'll do my best to take your questions that way. If you notice that I'm answering one of your questions, stay tuned and let me know if I'm on track. If I'm speaking to the issue that you're bringing in or if I'm getting off track, let me know. Okay, so we are getting going here, and I'm excited to talk about the topic for today of visioning into the new year and looking at your goals and how to make what you want to have happen, how to make that more likely. So I don't remember the studies on this recently, but I have heard again and again and again over the years that most people do not, their New Year's resolutions don't last beyond 1 month. So most people don't even make it to February. And the reason for that is that when we set, now there are some people who this does work for. Sometimes people can set a goal and they just move towards it and they're very good at that. So if that's you, fantastic, go get them. Set those goals, rock and roll. However, most people, we struggle with just doing goal setting because it's not nourishing. I think of it like going into a desert where I can try to pack everything I need to make it through a long haul, or I can learn how to what places I can find water and how I can survive in that territory. And so what I want to look at is how to survive in going for what you want, how to get more out of your daily interactions. And this is something that really hit me in a profound way years ago when I was asking about how to essentially perform better. Was looking at, I was a singer and a performer at the time, and I wanted to get better at that. And I would put all of my time and energy into that hour and a half performance. And when I asked a coach about this, what he said to me really changed my approach to goal setting. Welcome, Nick. Good to have you.
Thank
For
you.
years and years and years. And what I did was, he said, instead of putting all your time and energy on a 90-minute performance, focus your charisma on moment-to-moment interactions, and that will build up to what you want on stage. And so looking at what it is that really matters in what you're doing, what it is that you want to achieve in 2025, and what are the emotional components to that? Who are the people that you're going to need to be talking to who's going to give you the support that you need in order to achieve the things that you want? That's something that's so often forgotten about. And so that's the broad topic that I'm throwing out there today. But I want to make sure to jump in and say something, especially as we've got Nick joining in here, is that I welcome all questions. You don't have to ask questions about this topic. If you've got a question about your resume, interviewing, managing, wherever you are at, I love questions. So Nick, good to have you jumping in here today. Good to see you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. So tell me what brings you here today.
I'm trying to uh, move on into a different organization with the same role. Can you hear me well? Because I'm losing my voice a little bit.
Oh my gosh, I'm just getting over norovirus,
So,
and so I hear you. I'm so sorry. I hope your voice is coming back a little better soon, but I can hear you okay.
okay, good. Well, I'm trying to move to a different organization, of course. And what is driving me um, to that feeling is the ability to grow more, right? I have been doing what I do all my life, but every chance I get to move to a different organization, I learn new things, right?
Okay.
So, I don't want to feel stagnant, uncomfortable, because feeling comfortable makes me nervous. I don't know
Okay.
if that makes sense. I don't know. But, it's good to
So what
grow.
so what organization are you looking at?
What kind of
What organization are you with, and where are you looking to go?
more on a global perspective of an organization?
Okay.
I'm multilingual.
Uh-huh.
Fluently speak four languages, read and write them perfectly. So I started that way, but over the years I have been moving into organizations only local here in the US, right? And I want to go back to that global perspective. To me, that's more fun. I don't know.
Okay.
You get to learn different perspective of how people do business, how what are their challenges, and how can I help them with technology achieving those challenges, right? And solving those challenges. So I'm looking more of a global organization. That's where I'm at.
Okay. Well, so you're now in this process of, are you actively talking with other organizations, or are you just starting to think about this?
I'm actively researching the organizations,
Okay.
right? For an opportunity to see if I fit in, of course. But that's where I'm at. I'm actively looking um, what is out there in the marketplace.
Uh-huh.
So
Well, I mean, you've got quite a lot of experience. You're very capable. And so it seems to me that, kind of what you want, if there's a match for you, if somebody needs what you have, I think it's just a matter of you finding them.
yeah, and that's the thing, is like, again, it takes time. It takes a lot of time.
Okay.
I'm trying to
What are,
look for techniques, ideas.
oh, okay. So you're wanting some techniques on how to connect with people.
A lot easier, a lot faster than the pace that I have been. So
Uh-huh.
it's only been like 2.5 months that I've been doing this, right?
Now,
And
what's your relationship like with your current organization?
it's fine. It's fine. It's just I feel like I
No,
have
but
done what I needed to do.
do
You know.
you talk to anybody there, and let them know what you're thinking?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I have.
That's a great first step. So I'll say that also to everybody who's listening in. One of the key things, if you're starting to notice that you're wanting to move on, and you're not sure that the organization that you're in is the best fit for you, it often makes a lot of sense to just talk to people you're working with, talking to your boss, talking to your team, and being open about that. I had a client who, was sharing that with his boss, and his boss said, "You know what? You do a very specific kind of thing. Did you ever think about opening your own business? I think you do really well." And he was like, "Well, that's not what I was expecting
Yeah.
my boss to say, but you know what? Actually, that seems like the right move." So a lot of times you want to connect with the people who are right around you and who
Mhm.
know you and can give you that kind of input. So it sounds like you're already doing that.
Yes, and I actually have researched uh, opening my own business. Right? I'm glad you mentioned that. And I've been doing several meetings with this branding expert, especially in the technology arena. And she has given me a lot of information about different companies and how to do it and, all that kind of stuff. That's a thought, right? That's an idea. Um, but when you open your own business, there's a risk, like anything else, right? But I'm thinking about that more often now, because being independent actually helps because you're your own boss, right? You manage your challenges, you manage your situations, and you do what you need to do. So, but then again, that costs a little bit more money because you have to invest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in that kind of stuff.
So Nick, I'm curious. Tell me more about what you do and who your clients would be if you opened your business or if you were looking at an organization to work with. Just what is it that you do?
I'm in information technology. That's how I started. As it is, I got a bachelor's degree in math. I'm a mathematician by heart, right? I love math. Numbers make sense to me. Some people think you're crazy. Yes, I am. However, that connects very well with technology. The difference that I have been doing in my work, I don't only concentrate in the technology and the math, I also concentrate in people, right? Without the people, these tools that I have in my head will never work. So over the years, hence I started as a young technology guy working overseas and led me to be a chief information officer right now is because of communications, people skills, making sure that we explain things, train people in order for them to be more efficient. So that's what I've been doing all my life, right? Always looking for new technologies that help the situations or the obstacles that the business might encounter, but I always believe there's more to do, right? So that's where that's who I am, you know. I'm,
Whoa, okay.
I'm an IT a nerd with people skills, whatever that means. I don't know.
I, that can I give you can I critique you?
Yeah,
You could
absolutely.
just take off the I don't know or the your attitude of if that makes sense or anything like that because
Yeah.
everything you just said makes a whole lot of sense.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very
And-
much.
yeah, and that is a needed thing. So you're a math guy and you're a people person.
Yes. Yeah.
That's like in some ways it's like saying I'm a conservative and a liberal. I can I could do the whole thing. So,
Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, you can see that. But
so
it's funny because when I was in college here in Chicago, in the math programs, a guy from Greece, a foreigner that came from Greece, decided to study math and all that craziness. I started doing math tutoring for the university because my grades were high up. And you know, the funny thing was that people, the other kids, waited for me to be the tutor at the moment because we have fun in math with them.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we laugh, we joke, and we ate, and they were doing well. I was like, so that triggered me. Go, well, wait a minute. And then yeah, some of them were really surprised to see me as a tutor. They were like, "You a tutor?" I go, "Yeah, I am." But you're laughing all the time. You go, "Why not?" Why can I laugh? But that's the personality that I have.
Yeah, yeah.
I try to make people welcome and warm, so try to get into their minds and help them. That's it. You know.
Okay. So I'm just curious at this point in our conversation, from just a little bit of back and forth that we've had, what are you perhaps seeing or getting about you and what you could do to help move you forward in your search for the next company or organization, and or you opening your own business? What are you getting any clarity or insights?
I'm getting some insights for certain people. Like I told you, the idea of opening my own consulting, practice. Um, it's a matter of timing and for me to see how much it is and getting into that level of investments if it's possible. The other one is I've been coaching myself in through LinkedIn in a lot of ways of how to position yourself into organizations in the work marketplace to be needed or to be looked at and to be wanted, right? Things like that. I joined a fellowship which will start next week for artificial intelligence. So, to get that certification, I went to the boot camp last year, the end of last year. I passed. So now I want to get deeper into that kind of stuff because that's the future, right? So, knowing that I'm trying to hit all the angles as much as I can.
Okay. So I think, the one critique I gave you was you could just speak about yourself as with more authority. Like, this is who I am, this is what I do. You could just pretend that you're opening your own business, whether or not you ever do, but you just think about yourself that way as you communicate, because you're very good at. I have a sense of you and what you do and your authority already in a short amount of time. So
Thank you.
yeah. So you have a gift in how you communicate. I think people have been telling you that probably your whole life.
Yeah. Yes, they have. Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's wherever you focus that, I think you'll have success. On LinkedIn, you might do, maybe you'll do some articles and posts to position yourself more. I don't know if that is part of your strategy or not. Have you talked with any recruiters?
Yes, I have. I have talked to a couple of them, and they, we have met in person and some of them virtual, and they're doing they're doing the work, right? They got all my information and all that kind of stuff. But that happened in the month of November, December. So, the timing, people are busy,
Okay. What is there an organization that you are attracted to?
Oh my goodness, a lot of them. You know, there's actually a lot of organizations that I've been looking at, and they happen to be in United Emirates, right there, because there's a lot of opportunities in that country, right? I don't speak
Wait, where
Arabic.
did you say?
United Emirates,
United. Okay.
yeah, like Dubai, Qatar, those places, because they depend on foreign workforce in order
Yep.
to do their business. They offer you the money because they have a lot of money. They don't have the talent. So a lot of foreigners are invading that area. So I've been looking at a lot of companies out there to see like if there's an opportunity either for me to move there or even if it's an opportunity to be remote. It doesn't matter, right? Uh, I had the opportunity to be in Dubai twice in my lifetime. I know the area. It is booming. It's crazy marketplace. And it's like, what can I just be there? Right? Um,
Why not?
why not? Right? So those are companies that I'm concentrated on mainly because of the potential of the future, how they're doing things, you know, the business and the strategies that they have.
Is anybody getting back to you?
Not yet, not yet. Now, you know, maybe that's because you know it takes some time for them to do that. But you know, I'm hoping that that will happen. You know.
Because that sounds totally viable to me. So one of the things that people do is when you identify, I have people list 20 companies they want, then pick the top five, and then start networking in. So connecting with people who work there on LinkedIn, asking them what their experience is like, just light touches. So I don't know if you've done any of that, if you can see people
No,
there.
no, not like that, not to that level. I know what you're talking about, like the networking. Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't done that. I haven't done that. No.
Okay. That might be something to do. And
Okay.
and usually with this approach, you're going to I don't plan to get a lot of rejection.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
Okay.
used to it.
Cool. So
Yeah.
if you're doing a cold reach on LinkedIn where and a lot of times you don't even you can just go to Google and type in a company and see who works there.
Uh-huh.
And then you can find them on LinkedIn and then just send them a message of like, I'm interested in this company, would love to hear what your experience is like. Really
Okay.
short. Send that out to as many people as you can. Maybe one or two will get back to you. And if they get
Okay.
back to you, what often can happen in that is if they're aware, now a lot of companies don't have a great hiring process.
Hmm.
And so if somebody sees a message and they're like, oh, Nick looks like exactly, he might be what we need. That would make
Hmm.
my job easier. Well, I want to talk to this guy.
Hmm.
That can trigger that kind of inflow into an organization. It
Okay.
it be there's plenty of companies that need help but don't have a system in place to really onboard.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so that's one thing that you could do. And I often tell people to not spend more than 30 minutes a day on responding to job ads. And the rest of the time is that you are reaching out using your network. You're talking with people.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because they
Especially
communicate.
the older you get, the more likely that it's going to be relationships. And
Right.
since you're such a relationship guy, people know you, people like you.
Hmm.
One thing that can help is if you reach out to somebody, make a list of people who you think might be able to help connect you, and tell them, hey, keep me in mind. I'm looking for this kind of an opportunity. And then, while we're on the phone, do you have time to talk, connect, and catch up with them? and then say, hey, I'm going to contact you. I know it takes me a little bit of time sometimes to think of opportunities. So I'll follow up with you in a couple weeks. How's that sound?
Mhm.
And so that way you're taking the pressure off of them. Because if somebody reaches out to me and asks, hey, do you know of anything I'm looking for something like this, in that moment, I'm not going to think of anything.
Right.
But over the next couple weeks, I'll probably think of something, but then I'll forget to follow up with them. So if you take the pressure off and you just own that, that might help you drive this a little more.
Okay. Thank you. That's a good idea. I like it. I like it. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Because we're connected in LinkedIn. Yeah, we are connections, so and I was to be honest, I was intrigued. I go, and I thank you for the tips and the pointers because it is important, right? And I don't know everything, but I one thing that I do know, I research everything. So that helps, you know.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
So how long have you been with the organization that you're with now?
it's going to be 11 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Prior to that, I spent 19 years when I was in the profit world. And it was a food industry, supermarkets. And I spent 19 years, but it was automation from beginning to the end. That was a lot of work. Prior to that, I was with a multinational, and I was in Panama City, Panama, and in charge of Central and South America automation businesses. So I've been exposed to those things. When I was in the food industry, I used to go to Asia because of food industry, of course. Because they supply.
Uh-huh.
So I've seen those marketplaces. So right now, it's a non-for-profit. This is my first non-for-profit company that I work for. Non-for-profit and profit, the difference is the money. But the business that I do is the same. They all need technology, no matter what. The end product might be different, but you still need the technology to achieve your end product. Either it's a can of corn or a human being. You need to communicate. You need to be able to connect with whoever you need to do your business. So that kind of stuff. So, that's how I look at it. The job is the same, it's just a different platform,
Okay.
you know.
Cool. So in hearing that, I wonder, how long has it been at the current organization that you've been starting to think, I need something else. I need to challenge myself in a new way.
It's been 2.5 years ago, the top management team changed overall, new people, right? From the top down. And fortunately, the vision and mission that they have in place is not cohesive with me in the sense of I'm thinking growth, expansion, let's do this, let's do what we do, and then expand, it seems to me that that mentality or those goals are really not that important. So that makes me uncomfortable, that kind of stuff.
Okay. And so as you're seeing that happening, so you're seeing an expense. There's a cost to that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And you're uncomfortable with that.
Right, because I'm not an expense. I'm a solution provider, right? I could generate revenue for you. However, that is an old mentality of, that's an expense. Well, not really, you know. I don't think I am. But anyways, especially when I have negotiated contracts with IT vendors and implementations in technology and IT to the T, that most of the time for this organization, I have said that in one project that we needed to implement that took almost a year and a half, that implementation alone was on the vendor side dying, not on my side. So that was saving 250 plus $1,000 just to make it happen, right? So that's not I'm saving you money, right? Because of the relationship that I built with the vendor. It was it's so good that he go, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it for you. And I go, okay, good. I don't have the talent. I don't have the resources. I like your products. It was a human resource management system. I go, I need this. We need this. Yeah, and that included payroll, time and attendance, and all in the cloud. We go, why can't we do this? And we did it. We did it. We did it. Got done. Again, those are the things that was done in the prior administration, where at the time the CEO liked that idea. He goes, Nick, that's amazing. They go, let's move on. But now things have shifted. Like, well, what is the big deal about that? You go, hello, it's the savings that you get. So I don't see it. I don't think it's gonna.
Okay,
It's
and
not
they're and you're aware, like they're aware that of how you see things, and that they are doing it differently.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice going. I mean, I want to say that to everybody listening in. If I'm in a company, if I'm going to break this down, when I am getting unsatisfied in a job, I want to look at what are the things that are just outside my comfort zone that I can do and take risks with. So if I'm unhappy with the way that an organization is changing, do I speak up about it? Do I have those uncomfortable conversations? And I want to say, Nick, it sounds like you're doing that. So that's fantastic that you've been doing that, because that actually helps provide more clarity for you. Sometimes what happens is people will, at an organization, they'll just leave and they haven't had some of those challenging conversations. They go over to the next organization and they haven't learned how to have those challenging conversations, and they end up getting stuck into the same kind of a thing. So it's good to hear that you're doing that, because that does create a stronger foundation for you in you knowing who you are. And I think that's part of one reason why you share so clearly about what you're good at, because you've done the work that you needed to do to have that kind of clarity about yourself. So that really helps you then in how you talk about yourself as you're connecting with people. Of I'm an IT guy, I'm a math guy, and I'm a people person. Relationship always comes first. And so I'm able to help establish the relationships that are going to facilitate the implementation of whatever IT we come up with. Because we all know that's always changing, that's always updating. And so if we have a strong relationship, that's essential. Otherwise, it's not going to work, because there's just too many variables. And so for you to be able to just say that that's what you do, I mean, that's a very attractive thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's I have been having a lot of conversations with the COO, for instance. I go, I know there's an implementation of an ERP solution, and it's being managed by an outside partner that the CEO brought in. But my concern is the fact that they haven't shared timelines project plans. We all need to know these things in order to be successful. It's like driving, whatever that is that they decide to implement. The staff, the organization needs to be ready for this, and that needs communication, plain communications. This is the timeline. This is where we are. This is what we're doing. This is next. This is what we're having next. And things well, I, as a CIO, haven't seen that. And that's concerning. Right? I go, we're going to ways. I've seen the train is going to crash and you don't say anything. It's like, wait, what's going on? That kind of stuff. This is happening, and it's totally out of my league when it comes to that kind of stuff, because I have done big implementations, but the success of those implementations was precisely the communication to everybody at every level. Right? And then, the training aspect of things. I'm not assuming things. This team seems to be assuming things. And I go, how is that going to work when the reality of our business is this? Oh, we need to change. No, change is good, but change needs to be planned. It needs to make business sense. If it doesn't make business sense, why are we changing something? If it's working, it's working. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. That gets old.
Okay, so you're not being heard, and
oh yeah.
Okay.
Because the plan is to kill. I realize that. Okay, that's fine. Have fun.
Have you? So there's different ways of communicating, and sometimes, how do I say this? You might have heard the story about the airplane that the pilots were from another country, and they were talking to LaGuardia, and they were being too nice.
Oh my God. And
so the air traffic control at LaGuardia wasn't listening to them, even though there was things like, oh, we're running low on fuel. Oh, we da. And so they never cleared them for landing, and they crashed and died.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
And it was just because of a lost in translation thing. Mm-hmm. And so they didn't realize that they needed to be more upfront and say, like, hey, get us on the ground now. We're in serious trouble, and this is going to make everybody look bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm wondering about that with you, in terms of how are you at escalating communication?
I started in a nice way. I started it in a very professional way. And then I kept pushing it to the next level to become black and white. It's like, if you don't do this, this is gonna crash. This project is gonna be a mess. That was the last conversation, and I haven't heard anything back. So to me, the intention, somebody's making money out of this partnership, right? Whatever that is, which I don't want to be part of it, because that's not how I work. But it seems to me that somebody just comfortable with that decision and that behavior. So I think this is wrong, but.
Yeah. Okay, no, dude, Nick, I mean, you're doing a lot of the challenging stuff and speaking up and escalating it. And so I want everybody who's listening in to take note of that. That's it's something to do instead of looking elsewhere first, and instead of blaming, is to look at what I can do differently in the environment that I'm in. What are the uncomfortable conversations I can have now And so I want to applaud you, Nick, for having those. That's great. Oh, you're on mute.
And those are easy to do, to be honest. But I have learned over the years you might as well communicate clearly. Because if people don't want to listen, that's not your problem anymore. You already communicated. You express your feelings. And my job is precisely to safeguard the digital assets of the organization, to safeguard the safety and the performance of the staff, right? You know, it's easy to blame technology, but is it really technology or is it you? You know, and that I face a lot of times. So, you know, I've done what I could do. Hence, that's what I'm doing now is looking for opportunities. It's like, okay,
Okay.
I'm done. I'm done. I move on. You know?
You know, Nick, it may be that there are many people over the past 4 years that I've worked with who what they end up doing is starting their own business,
Mhm.
and that can turn into getting hired. But instead of trying to find the perfect fit, they end up doing contract work.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, a company is like, you know what? Let's just bring you on. This makes sense. So it may be that that is just something that you not that you're not going to keep looking for the organizations and trying some of what we talked about of reaching out and seeing if any of that lands, but you may just want to put on that business owner cap and just say I'm doing this, because that might just make you more, I don't know, that might help with your mindset. It might help you get some income coming in.
Mhm.
And I don't know, are you in a spot where like financially that you would be okay to go out on your own?
Good question. Good question. That's what I've been researching with this lady about these opportunities, you know, brands that allow you to do that kind of stuff. There are different ways of financially making that happen, right? Like anything else, everything is a risk. But, you know, it feels intriguing and it feels like, you know, like an opportunity starting that way, and you know, maybe I stay that way, or maybe not. It depends, right? It all depends of how that goes, you know. But yeah, we just had the last meeting before Christmas, and you know, now it's a matter of me of reviewing all the different groups that she have given me information and narrowed down to three. There have been 15. Just pick the top three that I'm more interested in, and then continue. You know, see what's happening. You know, that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, cool. Well, Nick, thank you so much. I
No, thank you for
I really
inviting
appreciate
me.
you jumping in. Yeah.
No, no, I like these type of things because you know your ideas help me, right? And you know, and solidify you know, a lot of things that I've been questioning myself. But I appreciate that this invitation.
Cool. 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 Well, good to hear. And in the overall term way of looking at career that I've been trained in is to see career as a pathway for my potential. And so you started off right away saying, I see I need to be challenged. I need to be developing myself
Right,
if I'm going to be, if this is going to be worth my while.
right,
So that's a wonderful way to approach
mm,
what I'm doing at work is this helping me become who I can become?
right.
Because in what the research shows about happiness is that happiness comes with learning and growing, and that's it. So
Oh,
it
that's
means
it.
failures, it means mistakes, it means all of that, I'm going to have all that, but if I'm going to have a sense of happiness, it means that I'm learning and growing.
Right.
And so, in terms of the topic of this week of, getting into the year strong and achieving the goals that we want to achieve, is to break it down to the moment to moment interactions and what can I do a little differently? Where can I challenge myself? If I'm challenging myself in this broad way, of getting into a new organization or learning a new skill or whatever that is, how can I challenge myself in the interactions that I'm having? What are the things that are just outside my comfort zone that I can speak into and try out so that I'm growing as much as I can from and not missing any of the growth as I'm on my journey. So that's what I'm wanting to just send out to everybody who's listening in, of where are the challenges in your life right now that you can lean into, because that will help you. That will help you in the big run. That will help you with your long-term objective. So I'm curious, Nick, as we wrap up, what are one or two challenges that you're going to lean into?
First of all, I'm gonna do the connecting like you suggested, trying to get into those companies that I've been looking at, trying to connect with somebody in there. That's a great idea. And the other one is really thinking about opening my own practice, right? That is another challenge that I have, and I need to solidify my thought in all of them and take it from there and take the plunge, Yeah, what else? I mean, it's gonna works. If it doesn't, okay, you learn something, It
Yeah.
is what it is. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Nick, let me know how it goes.
Okay, yes.
Keep me updated.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that we're connected in LinkedIn, so I can keep you posted of all the craziness that will happen in 2025.
Cool. Well, great. Well, so I want to just say this to everybody. I'm going to be wrapping up here, but this is Career Lab Wednesday. I'm here almost every Wednesday. It was a bit of a break with the holidays, but I'm here almost every Wednesday from noon to 1 p.m. Central Time. I invite questions, all questions career related. Nick, thank you so much for the questions that you had. People listening in, they get value from that and they can apply it. And I want everybody who's listening in to, even if you're not in the same spot in your career that Nick is, to be applying what we're talking about to whatever the challenges are that you're having. So if you're in an organization, you're going to stay there, well then what are the conversations that you could be having there that are outside your comfort zone that can be propelling you? And where might you want to reach out and initiate conversations that you haven't, even if it's not with a new organization, maybe just in the one that you're in. So apply whatever you can to your life. And I will be back next week. Nick, again, would love for you to jump on in and share any updates that you have, or message me offline. There's a few ways we can always talk one-to-one too, and not on a live stream. I've got a link where you can set up a one-to-one with me, and that's for you, Nick, and also for anybody joining in. If you want to set up that time with me, go for it.
Okay.
And Nick, where are you located?
Chicago.
You're in
Chicago.
You're in Chicago. Well, then I've got to invite you. I jump into the lake regularly.
No
And
way.
oh yeah.
Are you in Chicago too?
Yes, yeah, up in Rogers Park.
Oh, yes, I'm from Village.
Oh shoot, I just unplugged the camera by accident. Hold on. Sorry. Wait, where are you at?
I'm in Roscoe Village on Damon and Belmont.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Cool, cool. Yeah, I was gonna show you, but then I forgot that I had this other camera on. Um, right now,
Oh my
it's just
goodness. What a
it's just
view.
beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And so, if you,
I don't know if you want to jump in the lake.
well, I do groups, and I've taken in now. I don't know how many people in the past year, probably 20 to 30. Um, and it's quite an experience, and really helps with confronting fear head on.
And you do this in the winter time?
What's that?
No. You do this in the winter time or
Oh, absolutely.
oh my God.
Absolutely.
I read that that's supposed to be good for your body for
It
circulation purposes, but
it's very good.
yeah, I don't know.
You can start with your feet.
Okay. Oh Lord, yeah, but yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah,
that in
yeah.
mind. Keep that in mind.
But and I do that, but I also do group coaching sessions. I do breath work, and um, and then we go into the ice water if that's something that you're up for, if you want to do it. But even just getting up there is a can be an experience, just to be out on the beach with all the ice. I mean, right now there's these huge ice shelves. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, that looks like an ocean to me. It's huge. Lake Michigan is amazing. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's one of the best things. So that is available. Yeah, here, take a look at it. I
Okay,
just put that in there, and um, I'm doing some events coming up.
okay,
And again, for everybody viewing in, if you're in Chicago, and this is something of interest to you, hit me up. And also for coaching, you can set up a time with me to meet. And I love just connecting. And oftentimes I'm able to help somebody get a little more clarity and move it more into the direction that they want to go. And sometimes it turns into a coaching relationship, so we can discuss that on the call. And until next week, everybody,
okay. Thank
happy
you.
2025.
I know. Many
Here we go.
blessings.
Yes,
Many blessings. Yeah. I see
exciting, exciting future ahead.
I like the website. It's very interactive.
Oh,
People in the
good.
lake. Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh well. No, I don't know. That's good
All
though.
right. Well,
Thank
I can
you.
see you're thinking about it.
Yeah, a little bit. Why not, right? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's
All right.
nice. Okay.
Well, I've got to
Thank you.
jump. I've got a coaching session coming up, but blessings. Nick, I'll be in
Thank
touch.
you. Bye.
All right. Bye
Nice to
bye.
meet you. Bye.